Welcome back to Finding the Next Step, where I take the self-improvement and productivity advice that's out there and apply it to a real-world application. The application is to change the world of math, and today I'm going to cover using data science to find data science work. So in order to find things to change with math, I thought, why not look for things that people are willing to pay for? Because if people are willing to pay for it, it must have some level of importance. So I thought, how fun would it be to use data science to find data science jobs? So the most obvious place to start would be job listings. I went to Indeed.com and I entered in data science for the search term, came back with around 30,000 results, which is quite a few. And this is oftentimes why we need data science in the first place, is because looking through 30,000 or so results manually is a nightmare as a person, but the computer can potentially do it a lot faster. And so data science basically uses programming and math to try to replace the analysis that a person would have had to do manually. And it might not be quite as good, but it's maybe 70%, 80% as good, and it covers so many more results than you could ever cover by yourself. So the key to this is going to be two steps. The first step is actually getting the data, which we're covering here, and the next step is going to be analyzing the data, which we'll start into in the next video. But for this video, getting the data, even though the data is on Indeed.com, it has to be in a specific format in order to be worked with. And so we're going to need to get this data out of the website. So there's a few ways. So the first option is the really simple option. It's just to copy paste a bunch of jobs out of here. And that's something you can do for a few dozen. And if you don't really know programming, and that's something that's not really a skill of yours, it is of mine. I'm actually a professional programmer. You can do that to start with, and that's fine. You might not get as many insights as you could with a programming solution getting data, but by the same token, you'll have something, and oftentimes you'd be surprised how much you can learn just from a small amount. You don't necessarily need the whole thing. So the other options, since I am a programmer, are to scrape the site, basically go to the site and try to use some sort of programming tool like Selenium, and basically have it go through each page of the site and pull out the data. And that's sort of coming from the outside in. And there's a third option, which I looked into. I got to thinking, well, how does Indeed actually get these job listings? And so I looked into that a little bit, and they have several ways, but one of the ways they mentioned was a job speed XML. So different employers or websites may offer a XML feed, so just a big text document that lists all of their jobs in a structured format. And so I went hunting on Google, and I found a website that actually has close to 100,000 jobs in one XML file already formatted. So no need to learn any programming tools or program anything up. These sites usually have some sort of protections against scraping because, they like to keep their data even though it's public. And, there's also, potential legal things and things like that too. So this third option seemed a little simpler to me because it's something that you wouldn't really need a lot of programming savvy to figure out. And it's also doesn't really have any hangups to it because it's already pretty straightforward and it's freely available. So it's free to use. And it's got quite a few jobs. So that's something to keep in mind. It's not about what skills you have, it's about trying to make the most of the skills you have. And if it doesn't get you as much data as I can with what I have, then that's okay. You use what you have and you build from there. So this seems to be sort of a simple starting point. I don't want to spend too much time on it because this is going to be a prototype. I don't want to start out with investing a lot of time into something that ends up not panning out or not giving a big return. So I like to start small and see if I can get any proof of concept to push this forward. So I do have a GitHub repo with the code that I'm using for this, and that's linked in the description box below if you'd like to look at that. And so start with that. Of the 100,000, there's about 300 data science jobs in there, which is not a huge number, but it's probably more than I would have gotten from the copy-paste method, not as much from a web scraping method with Selenium, but the Selenium method would have probably required more programming and had, more legal issues and things like that I might not know. So I figured I would go with this XML. So I have a quick and dirty list of data science jobs as well as a bunch of other jobs now. And for the next video, I'm going to do a quick and dirty analysis to see if I can find any important math problems to solve.